Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of the podcast since we got onto iTunes. Officially. We're official now. Be jealous.
Woot.
I'm Zach Berman.
Caleb Berman.
And we are two geeks.
Two furious.
Caleb, do you know the one thing, especially right now, that pisses me off more than anything else?
What is it?
Bitstrips. Do you know what bitstrips are?
I've heard about bitstrips. I might have even seen one, but I don't really know what it is.
Alright, basically, the concept is you go onto their website and you get to create your own little avatar for yourself, and then your friends have them too. And you can make them for your friends, or they have their own that you can borrow. And they look like shitty Flash cartoons from like 10 years ago.
Okay, yeah, so I've seen this.
Well, I have been trying to fight them on the internet a bit. Do you remember when I posted that really long status about that, and I even did the Batman thing?
Yeah, I remember.
I was like, I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Berman.
Yeah, but what's so evil about bitstrips?
They're not funny.
Alright.
They're not creative. It's like, I'm sure there's somebody somewhere who could do something funny, creative, or both with them. But the thing is, if you're funny, do you want to make a comic on the internet with a cheap little, not even piece of software?
No, I'd want to do something original.
Yeah. And if you're creative and artistic, are you going to want to do something that looks like a shitty cartoon from Newgrounds in like 2003?
No, I want to create something.
Exactly. So I'm sure there are people who could do something good with it. But guess what? If they're capable of it, they don't want to. Because they have their own better things to do. So, anytime I see somebody, every other time they post it, I will take like a movie quote or speech and warp it, like change the words to it so it fits my own beliefs about bitstrips.
Yeah.
And I make it seem like they're demonic and they came, they're spawned from Satan, because they are. They freaking are. And so like I saw one, I won't say who it was, but it's a girl, and it was just a shitty picture of her sitting at a counter, and I guess it was maybe her boyfriend busting through the door, and then it says at the bottom for the subtitle, so-and-so sometimes thinks her life is a show about nothing. That's not a joke.
Yeah.
That's just a reference. It's just a thing that you've said. There's no punchline. There's no setup. There's no joke there. It's not funny. It's not even cute, really. And so I posted on somebody's yesterday. Actually, I think it was 2 days ago. Yes, it was 2 days ago. And I took the speech from the beginning of Star Trek, the Final Frontier, and warped it to be about how much I hate bitstrips, yeah. And they responded saying, then just delete me.
So you did?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you should have.
Because I need to tell them what they've done is wrong. And so I can't stop it if I delete everybody who uses it. Like, I can't stop people I know, people that I cared about at some point in my life, to do that. I can't allow them to do that. So she said that, and then today, 2 days later, she tries to do the same thing on mine, using that.
Are you posted a bitstrip?
No. She just posted on my
status.
On my wall.
On your wall, okay.
She did the Star Trek thing, except about how it's her Facebook. She can do whatever she wants with it. Oh, and all I responded was just, not bad. Not bad. So, something I did do yesterday, though. I went into the Facebook app for bitstrips. I made myself a little cartoon, and I was going to make my own that were a satire of bitstrips. Sort of like, I was going to have every day 2 panels, because they're individual panels. I'd seen the website before. On the website, you can do everything you want. You pick the background, you pick the characters, you pick everything. You can choose how many panels there are and all this stuff. So I get into the Facebook app, And I was going to do one like, this is Zach. And then the next one, Zach is depressed. His friends don't understand how funny and creative he is. And then I'm going to go on about how Zach he found the website. And he signed up for the website and he started doing it. And he was going to end up getting sucked into hell and being Satan's bitch.
Wow.
So I get on and I start to make the first panel and I find out on Facebook, you got to choose from theirs. They're pre-made on Facebook.
That's so dumb. So it takes even less creativity than it did before.
Yeah, and they still look shitty. That's what I don't understand. So there's somebody out there making a bunch of money off of these things. People think they're cute or funny or something. They're not even making them. You can pose your character, and you can choose what they say and what's at the bottom. Actually, no, I don't think you can choose what's at the bottom. You can just choose what they're saying in the dialogue, and you can move them and change their mood. Other than that,
that's the
nothing.
Dumbest thing
You
ever.
can't change the backgrounds. You can't change the situation they're in. So it's even worse than I thought. Luckily, I only know of 2 people I've seen who've done it recently, within the last few weeks. 1 person who's done it within the last few days. So I think I got to the one girl who did the Seinfeld reference one.
Yeah.
But
I haven't seen one in a while.
They're dreadful. They're truly awful. You haven't seen any of them?
I've seen a couple, not in a while.
Aren't they terrible?
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
They're not freaking funny. If you... I don't know how to say this nicely, but listeners...
Oh, gosh.
If you make or post bitstrips, you are a terrible, godless human being. And you need to find Jesus. Or something.
That was an infinite number of better ways you could have said that.
I mean, I'm not going to... I want them to still listen, Caleb. I don't want them to think there's no hope. Even though there is no hope.
You just alienated our Jewish audience.
You need to find... Just get away as soon as you can. They're horrible, and people think you're a bad person for using them, and they will talk about you behind your back.
Or on a podcast.
Yes, or on a podcast that's broadcast through iTunes.
Oh, there
Wink.
we go. Nice.
On the internet. So, Caleb, have you heard about the Ninja Turtles debacle?
The debacle.
Yes.
I mean, I suppose.
Where somebody leaked the official picture of the Halloween costume for the new movie.
I did not see the costume.
Which, you know how bad they are. But they always look better in the pictures. The official pictures.
Yeah.
Like, you see the picture and you're like, it doesn't quite look like the character in the movie, but good enough. And then you open it.
I've never felt that way.
And then you open it, and it looks infinitely worse. Well, like, it looks like you're wearing a rag.
Well, you can't expect a lot from a Ninja Turtles costume. They've always looked bad. Any Ninja Turtles costume will look bad, even on the picture.
Well, no, all costumes now are that morph suit thing with no head and slots for hands, basically. So they just print like a photorealistic what their bodies look like. And in the new movie, their skin looks kind of weird. It's got these weird, sort of like veiny looking designs going through them. So they look like turtles, but they have like this alienish look to their skin almost. And I don't remember who it was. It might have been Leonardo, but he was wearing pants. But they weren't full pants. It was like one leg and the other one was like torn up.
Pants?
With like a sash around it. And then the worst part is the mask, which is one of those shitty plastic ones. I feel like you're going to break them. And it only covers the front part of your face. The top looked alright. Like, it had the thing around the mask. It had the mask. The eyes looked kind of weird. But then it got to the mouth, and it looked like it had lips. Like, did you see that concept art going around where they sort of had like the little beaky thing?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I thought it was pretty cool, yeah.
Which, it wouldn't have worked very well because they have to move their mouths and talk.
But it was...
But what was wrong with the sort of thing they did in the originals with the animatronics where they didn't have lips, but they had like a mouth that moved? But no, it's like defined lips like a person. It's hard to find, but it's bad. And the masks are usually pretty accurate because they just take a picture of it and they're like, oh, turn it into a mask. So if they have lips on the mask, they're probably going to have lips in the movie.
I don't know. I don't think you can put a whole lot of value in the Halloween costume leak.
Yeah, true. But the reason the internet's so angry is, one, it's a shitty looking turtle.
The costumes will always be shitty looking.
Yeah, but you get the general idea of what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So there's that, but they're also mad because the people who are making the movie got mad at the people who posted it. Mm-hmm. And the fans are like, you should have shown us something.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it supposed to come out this year?
Oh my god, I think it is.
Yeah. We've seen nothing.
That's not a good sign.
Nothing. And I think they're trying to make it a surprise, that J.J. Abrams type thing. Mm-hmm. Have you heard him talk about that, the mystery box?
The mystery box?
Yeah, he went on about it at a TED Talk once in front of everybody. He's like, I like to have this mystery box. And he's like, you hint at it, but you don't show it. So then people get built up, they want to see what it is, and then, you finally show it, and it's like, great. Well, I think they're trying to do that. But the thing is,
it better be great then.
Most people don't have much hope for the movie. First of all, it's Michael Bay. They rewrote the script that one time because people were mad because they were aliens. And then they came back and they were like, no, after they admitted they did rewrites. They said they were doing rewrites. And then they came out and said, no, they were never aliens. The ooze was always alien.
The way Michael Bay phrased it on that interview, that press conference, or whatever it was where he first said it, the way he phrased it, there's no way they weren't straight up aliens.
Yeah, they weren't.
He didn't mention anything about the ooze. He said, the turtles are from an alien race. That was how he phrased it.
Yep. And then, what else was there? Oh, and then Megan Fox, who they apparently hated each other. That's why she got kicked off of the third Transformers movie.
No one wants to work with her. She's a pain in the ass, is what I heard.
Yeah.
That's why they got rid of her. So
yeah, but
why is she in this?
Why is she in this? And she's terrible. She's not a good actress. She's not even that attractive, especially now. Mm-hmm. So it's bad. It is bad. But there's not much. The general audiences aren't going to care unless you show them something. Mm-hmm. That's how you build excitement for it. Because the fans don't want to see it. The general public's not going to care. They need to fix that by showing us something. Like, they're leaking all that stuff about the new Transformers movie. They've had concept art all over the place.
Yeah.
Some of it's official. Like, they leaked it. It wasn't somebody who stole it or anything. Mm-hmm. Or found it and took a picture. But whatever. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
It could be cool, maybe. I really want to know what the turtles look like. I need to know.
Yeah, they had descriptions about what they look like leak a few weeks ago. And they said Shredder's just got spikes all over him. Because apparently that's what we want to have.
He is going to be Shredder.
Yeah.
I heard that he was going to be like an army general named like Schrader or something. Did they scrap that, or was that just a rumor?
No, there's a Shredder, according to the people who saw they saw the action figures, but they couldn't. I guess it was an official thing where they saw it.
All right, well, there better be a Shredder, that's for sure.
But apparently he's just got spikes coming out of him everywhere. Because remember in the show when he had just spikes everywhere, all over his body?
No.
Exactly. But they said it looks ridiculous.
They make him look more and more ridiculous with every incarnation of the character. Why can't they just make him look like the original from the cartoon?
He looked cool in the new...
Or the original from the comics, I mean, that makes more sense.
He looked cool in the new cartoon.
Yeah, but he's so big.
Yeah, but everything's stylized in that one. It's not bad, it's at least...
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you said you had a story.
Yeah, alright, I gotta tell you a story. It's not really my story. I heard this story from a friend of mine. I'm gonna change everybody's names involved, because... Anyway, yeah, okay. So this friend of mine, she... or he informs me that, like, you can go into classrooms at my school, and if there's nothing going on, guys will just pull out their phones and start showing dick pics to people.
What?
Like, that's the thing that's commonplace now. Like, you just start showing dick pics. So there's this one guy at my school, what am I going to call him? I don't know, douchebag. This douchebag guy who's notorious for doing this. Everybody at my school apparently has seen his dick. So... he's in class one day, and the teacher's going around, and they're doing an assignment, and the teacher bends over to help this person. Guy teacher. So, like, bent over, head down, ass up. And this guy, douchebag, stands up in class, pulls his dick out. Straight up, dick out. Pulls his dick out, and poses for a picture with this teacher. in the middle of class with his dick
God.
out. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's weird. It's like a new age D club.
Yeah.
From if anybody doesn't know, Game Grumps, Ego Raptor, Aaron Hansen was, when he was younger, like 19, he had this club where they'd all whip their dicks out and like sword fight with him and stuff because everybody called them gay and they were like, well, no, we're not gay. We'll prove it. They do that and they're like, still not gay. Anyway.
That's the gayest thing ever.
Yeah. Game Grumps is awesome. But Caleb, that story is a perfect segue into our new segment that I like to call Sexy News.
Ooh.
Because I think the listeners can't see us.
They don't know how sexy
So we
they
have
are.
to talk about sexy things to get them to understand that this is a sexy show.
Right.
So I'm going to pull it up real quick. Here's the headline. Naked man walks into a bar with a bag of sex toys, asks, "What's the problem?" What do you think happened?
What do I think happened?
Based on that headline.
So he goes into a bar with a bag of sex toys.
And asks, "What's the
Asks,
problem?"
what's the problem? I have no idea.
Well, I'll tell you what happened, Caleb. A man, naked, walked
Oh, that's
into a
right,
bar
he's naked. Yeah, all
with
right.
a bag of sex toys and asked, "What's the problem?" Trying to pick a fight with somebody. He thought it'd be funny if he walked in, and he was in there for... This was in the UK, by the way. Which is weird. Sounds like something that would happen in Florida. But yeah, it was... I don't know how long he did it. I don't think it says. But he was in there for a while, from what it sounds like in the story. And he was just trying to pick a fight. He was walking up to people, holding up the bag of sex toys, and he was like, "Got a problem? If anybody has a problem, you come here and take it up with me." And he did that for a while. The bartender didn't even call the police. Like, he didn't call the police. He was just like, "We'll just let him do his thing and leave." And then he left, and then he started doing it to a bunch of kids.
Oh, jeez.
So then the barkeep ended up... Barkeep? Are we in, like, medieval England? The bartender called the police at that point. And they came, and apparently he was on some amount of drugs or something like that. But I thought that was great to kick off our sexy news. A man walking into a bar with sex toys, naked,
Well, that
trying
guy,
to pick fights with people.
he must have been on drugs, because if you're going into a bar, there is an infinite number of ways to get into a fight without having to take off all your clothes and carry around a bag of sex toys.
Yeah.
Like, why was that his go-to? Like, I want to get in a fight. I'm going to go in this bar naked.
Oh, here we go. He was on drugs. It says, officers reported finding illegal amphetamines, clothing, and dildos in his bag.
Jeez.
So, that's that. I guess he did a bunch of meth, and he was like, it'd be funny. Waving sex toys in people's faces and saying, "Want to go? You want to go? Come at me, bro."
Did he end up getting in a fight?
No. Nobody would fight him.
Of course, he's naked. No one wants to fight him.
Apparently everybody knew what he was up to.
Being in the nude probably isn't the best way to get into a fight.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody knew what he was up to. I don't know if this is a common thing.
Maybe he's notorious for this. Like, he comes in, naked, bag of dildos, what's the problem? And freaking bartender's like, oh my god, is it Tuesday already?
Guy walks in, like, he's walking down the street and all the kids are like, "Oh my god, it's Mr. Naked Dildo Man. Can I have your autograph, please? You're like a superhero around here."
Oh, man.
That's so bizarre.
That's the most bizarre thing ever.
It's absolutely bizarre. But you know what else is, I wouldn't say bizarre. Actually, it's kind of bizarre. Did you hear about Quentin Tarantino?
No.
He had that movie coming out. I forgot what it's called.
It's about
The Western.
his new Western
Yes.
with
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz, yeah.
Yes. And anyway, so he finished that. And he was
I
going
didn't
to
realize
start...
it was in production yet.
No, he finished writing it.
Okay.
Yeah. It was supposed to start production in the summer. Mm-hmm. Website called... the website didn't leak it. Somebody leaked it online, the script. All 150 pages of it. Mm-hmm. The whole thing. It doesn't sound that great, actually. I mean, it probably would be. Most of his movies don't sound that great when you hear about it, but they end up being pretty good. Basically, it was like these people who are, once again, bounty hunters in the Wild West, where the whole movie takes place in 2 locations, a stagecoach and I think an inn, like an old-timey inn.
Oh, okay.
And they are looking for these people, and they've already got a bunch of bodies stacked up on top of their stagecoach, and they end up going to the inn, like it's an inn pub tavern thing, and they go there because there's a blizzard coming, so they're stuck there. And I guess what happens is they realize they're stuck in there with the people they're trying to get. So their whole, it's
I think that sounds pretty cool.
The Cowboys, yeah, I just don't know how it would work out. It sounds weird to have a movie that takes place in only 2 settings. But then again, he made Reservoir Dogs, which was the same sort of thing, where it was most of the movie took place in a warehouse.
What about, like, I mean, I think it could work. There are movies that have that kind of thing.
Well, here's the thing, Caleb, it's not going to work.
All right. So here's where the story gets good. What happened?
Yeah, here's where I'm pissed off at Quentin. It gets leaked. Website Gawker posts it. And they say, here's the leaked Tarantino script for, I don't remember what it's called, cowboy movie.
It's got a cool name. I know it does.
Yeah.
I remember that.
He found out. He said...
Scrap the movie?
He said, not making the movie. And...
That's so dumb.
Yeah, and he's suing Gawker, which I think he has the right to do. But why not just still make the movie? There's people who want to see the movie. He's so full of himself. He's such an ass that he's just like, not going to make it. He says he might publish it as a novel, rewrite it as a novel. I don't want to read a Quentin Tarantino novel. I want to watch a Quentin Tarantino movie.
I know it had a really cool name. It's going to bother me now.
Something 8.
I know it's something 8. I want to say Crazy 8. It's not Crazy 8. We're going to Google this shit real quick. Because it's got a really cool name. I heard about it. And, I don't know, it seemed really tight.
Yeah, let's see what it was. I know it's got the name 8. Hateful 8.
The Hateful 8.
The Hateful 8. Yeah, it sounded cool, man. Like, I really wanted to see it after I had read about it. Yeah, they leaked it. He's suing, not making the movie.
I don't know. Maybe he'll back out of it. Maybe he will make it.
I hope so. That'd be so cool. Like, Django Unchained was awesome.
I love Christoph Waltz, whatever. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's freaking great.
He's great in everything.
He was really good in Inglourious Bastards. I haven't watched that movie in forever.
I watched it pretty recently.
I used to watch it all the time.
It's amazing.
Not as much as I watched Clerks 2, which I didn't watch this week. That's my weekly movie.
You didn't watch it this week?
No, I watched Clerks 2.
That's a movie I could watch.
Constantly.
I
haven't watched anything Kevin Smith or listened to any Smodcast.
I watched like half of Dogma recently.
I watched all of it.
It's on
2 months ago.
YouTube. The full movie's on YouTube. So like every
it hasn't
now and
gotten taken down yet.
Well, let's watch Dogma.
That's a good movie. Yeah, once a week I watch Clerks 2. But yeah, I mean, for like 4 months, 3 or 4 months, I've been listening to nothing but podcasts. And sorry, I had to burp. I haven't listened to any in like 2 weeks because I've been listening to Tell 'em Steve Dave, which, if anybody likes this podcast, any of the like 30 of you like this podcast, definitely check out Tell 'em Steve Dave. It's if you watch Comic Book Men, it's Walt and Brian Johnson, and then they have this guy Brian Quinn from the show Impractical Jokers, and he comes in. He's awesome. I watched all of Impractical Jokers. It's like over 50 episodes.
Jeez.
I watched them all in 2 days.
Is it really that good?
Oh, it's so good.
I haven't seen any of it ever.
We'll watch an episode after this. They're short episodes, they're like 20 minutes. They're coming into town on February 7th.
Really?
Yeah, the Impractical Jokers. Basically, it's 4 guys that met in Catholic school in Staten Island. And after high school, they started a comedy group called the Tenderloins, and they started touring around, and then they ended up getting the show Impractical Jokers. And the Tenderloins, which are those 4 guys, are going to be in Dallas on the 7th. And there's barely any seats left. I don't want to go alone. The tickets are $50. I don't really want to pay $50 to go see a show by myself. It's 18 and up, so I couldn't take you.
Take a lady friend.
And, well, the thing is, there's no seats next to each other either. So even if I wanted to take somebody, couldn't take somebody.
A lady friend.
Which lady friend? I don't have any lady friends.
Make a lady friend.
I'm actually kidding. I don't want people to know that. I have like 3 right now. Just juggling them.
I don't believe you.
You know nothing.
I think you're full of it.
I see you like this night, and that's about it.
I still think you're full of it.
Because I work on the other days you're over here. So you don't know what I do.
I don't believe you.
But yeah, they're going, but tell them Steve Dave's awesome. They just like talk about stuff, and they don't hold anything back. And even their advertisements are fantastic. They don't do any of the pre-recorded ones like Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier do. They come up with them on the spot.
Yeah.
And then it'll usually take them sometimes 15, 20 minutes to get through an advertisement because they keep going off on tangents completely unrelated to the advertisement.
That's funny.
Yeah, so they'll start talking about something really vulgar or bizarre, and then they'll just go, oh yeah, speaking of Hulu Plus. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think you'll really like Impractical Jokers, so we'll watch that. But tell them Steve Dave's awesome. I want to be that podcast. But Kevin Smith's the one who made us want to do the show, or really made me want to do the show.
Right.
Because in, what's that podcast he has with Muse?
Trace Hop Hop Get Old?
Yeah, because he used to do those live, only live. Yeah, he would always go on and be like, tell people, he's like, everybody's homework assignment, go home, get on your computer, record a podcast, post it onto iTunes.
Oh.
Which isn't that simple.
Yeah.
They could have rejected us. That's why I made sure we had 4 episodes first. Mm-hmm. That's a good amount. But yeah, Kevin Smith. I haven't gotten a Kevin Smith fix in a while.
I know.
And I keep having bullshit hours at work.
When does Clerks 3 come out? Is it in production?
I don't know. Because he already finished shooting Tusk.
I feel like that would be a really short shoot, so.
They shot it in like 8 days.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, so he's finished with that. I don't know when that's going to be ready. I can't wait for that.
Is he making that hockey movie still?
I don't think so. I don't care about that. I don't think it'd be very good. It's not his kind of movie.
Does he really have a kind of movie?
Yeah, Kevin Smith movies.
Couldn't one be about hockey?
I mean, even Red State is a Kevin Smith movie. There's that one scene where it's just Michael Parks talking for like 15 straight minutes. Mm-hmm. Because this movie's just about a bunch of people hanging out and talking. I mean, even Dogma, where there's like a war going on between the angels and stuff. Most of the movie's just them sitting and talking about things.
I feel like he could do the hockey movie successfully.
I don't know. It's just, I don't think it'd be very good. I hope he never hears this. Tusk is going to be cool, though. I want to tell everybody about Tusk. Where they were talking about this bizarre story on
Craigslist? Was it a listing on Craigslist?
No, it was on some English website where you can look for roommates. And it was this guy who said he had lived in somewhere off of Canada in the middle of nowhere for like 2 years, and his only friend was a walrus. And he wanted somebody who would, for a couple hours a day, he was looking for a roommate for free. The only catch would be that a couple hours every day he would have to dress up like the walrus and pretend to be a walrus and catch fish and stuff that he throws at him.
Fish in their mouth, yeah.
So in the podcast, they go on, Scott Mosier, Kevin Smith's producer, and Kevin Smith go on for like an hour and a half pitching their idea to turn that into a horror movie where the guy gets like sewn into the walrus suit, human centipede style, just gruesome science experiments type stuff. And they're making it into a movie called Tusk.
And they filmed it, apparently.
Yeah, I think it's got, who's in it? Justin Long, I think.
I love Justin Long.
And Haley Joel Osment.
Wow, he hasn't been in anything in like...
Yeah, he got fat.
Really?
Yeah, and an alcoholic.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How about that?
It's going to be so good, though. Even me and my coworker, Adam, anytime one of us asks the other person for a favor, we're like, okay, on one condition.
We both know what's coming.
Know what's coming. Got to put on that walrus suit.
Catch fish in your mouth.
Just for 2 hours, that's it. But, God, I can't wait for that. And Clerks 3, he's saying, is really good. The guy who plays Elias in Clerks 2, he was on Smodcast once, and he was talking about it. He read the script. He said it's even better than the first two.
Great.
But they need to do a movie called Jay and Silent Bob Get Old.
I bet they probably will.
After Clerks.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, he came out of retirement. Kevin
Did he,
Smith.
like, officially?
Yes.
Because, like, he kept being like, all right, I'm retiring. This is going to be my last movie. And then he made, like, 3 movies.
He officially said... Remember he said he wasn't going to make any more movies? Mm-hmm. And then he ended up making 2?
Yeah.
He said now he's not retiring, but he's only going to make the movies that he wants to make and only he could make. Mm-hmm. Because he doesn't want to have another... Because he tried to make a Judd Apatow movie when he did Zack and Miri, and it didn't work out for him.
It's a great movie, though.
It didn't make any money. The marketing was terrible.
Well, that's...
And then he directed Cop Out, which he didn't write. So he doesn't want any more of that.
I'll give you that one, but Zack and Miri is great.
So he said he's only going to make movies that only he could do.
If there are any listeners who don't know what we're talking about, you don't know who Kevin Smith is, go look him up, because he is the coolest person ever.
Yeah, he's my role model.
He's amazing.
You know, some people have Jesus.
We have Kevin Smith.
I have Kevin Smith, yeah. He's fantastic. But you know what's not fantastic, Caleb?
What?
We're out of time. It's time to wrap this up with a nice bow. And we'll see everybody next week. It's been me, Zach Berman.
And Caleb Berman.
We are 2 geeks.
2 furious.